So the video I was just talking about was this. I saw this like rotary phone. This
The
lady
Rotary
just
Unsmart phone. Yes, yes.
so it's a rotary unsmartphone.
A fully functional rotary dial cell phone that operates on the modern LTE cellular networks. What's all this? Almost 2 years ago, in 2020, I made a rotary cell phone using old phone parts, an Arduino, and stuff from Adafruit and my 3D printer. And then it went viral, and people said, "I want one," and I said no, and then eventually started saying yes,
I, I
but I was a kid
you
for
know, I'd surprisingly want to get this. Um, I personally have been looking for like unsmart uh unsmartphones because I just like I'm not connected to social media in any sort, I guess outside of YouTube and Twitch. So like I don't have Twitter, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Snapchat, I don't have like TikTok. I don't have any of this shit. Um I use WhatsApp and text message and phone. Like that's all I really use, and I guess the internet and some YouTube like I said. But I've been looking for like unsmartphones to just kind of get back to like calling and texting. Like that's all I need. The problem is all of the phones that I find that are like unsmartphones that are uh targeted to that are either for like really old people, so they're like the buttons are huge or like the font on the buttons are huge, and it's also a T9 model of texting, which if you're not familiar with a T9, so say like this controller was a cell phone, the number 1 would have like A, B, and C underneath it. So if I wanted to get to C, I'd have to tap 1 3 times. And that's how old texting used to be. It was so irritating. So it wasn't like a QWERTY keyboard like you have now. Um, so in order to send a text, like if I was saying like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'd have to like hit the H once, let it load, and then I'd have to H again to get to the I, and then I'd leave it there, and then space, and then like that's how you formed a text. And it kind of took a while depending on what you were saying. It was usually just easier to call somebody. So when BlackBerry actually came out and BlackBerry had a physical keyboard on it, man, that thing was amazing. The problem with that is now a lot of, and you can buy old Blackberries, the fat wide ones. The problem is a lot of them aren't compatible with your cellular plan anymore. At least I think in Canada they're not. In the States, I think you can still find some. So this wouldn't help in terms of that aspect where I just want to be able to text people again, or like text. I still want to text, but like not have to take forever to text. But just the calling aspect's kind of cool.
now. For the past 2 years, I've been
And if she's selling this as like a kit, that's kind of cool. It's like you can kind of learn how to put together this shit. Not to the degree that she's already.
designing every element of this phone. I had a vision for some
Wow,
aesthetic
every element.
refinements to the first version, and it obviously has this new one has the genes of that original 3D printed 3G version phone, but it's also quite different.
It
And it's
just
made
looks funny.
entirely with injection molded parts and some machined parts and some stamped parts. Every single piece is newly designed. There's no vintage parts. The dial mechanism, all the
Oh,
gears.
wow. Yeah, I guess that would have been hard if she did all vintage parts because obviously rotary phones aren't really a thing anymore. So you'd have to like scour to find rotary phones. So building your own components for this that work in the same aspect is, yeah, what you would have had to do.
Everything is newly.
Which it seems easier than it is because I guess you would just think it's a bunch of cogs and a bunch of wheels that just link into each other, and as you rotate one thing, it rotates the other stuff. But then you probably need like proper springs and maybe even tension to get the right feel of it kicking back, and Yeah, there'd be a lot into putting this together.
Manufactured. Custom springs. Do you
See,
have any idea how
there you go, custom springs. Yeah, like I just said.
many tries, how many iterations it took to get the SD card slot in the casing to line up right with the socket on the electronics? How long it took to
SD
design
card
electronics?
slot. Okay.
What about the OLED display on the front? There's no
So it even has like a digital screen on there so you could see what phone number's calling you. That's cool.
library for that software library. I had to write the library
Oh,
for the
shit, to
OLED
write the
display.
code.
I'm not a programmer. So this is just a super quick demonstration of this phone. I'll make a longer demo.
Okay, so this is the kit you would get. Okay. It's kind of cool. I mean, if you could put together a computer, I think you could put together this.
Videos in the future on assembling the kit, on the features
Whoa, what the fuck is this machine? Is this her like part maker?
and I guess on the experience of starting a company around this.
Oh my god, this is not in
Okay,
her
so
house, is it?
first, when a call comes in, the caller ID comes up on the front OLED display.
Oh, you hear that
And of
ringing?
course, it rings. Hear that? Hear that? That's a real mechanical bell. It's an actual
Oh, this woman put a real freaking bell in here. It's like almost like a bike bell.
ringing bell built into the phone. There are some bugs, but it does work. Testing. And okay, so to call a local number, we flip the mode switch on the side to the local
Oh
position.
my god, this thing has
And we dial
switches.
the 7-digit phone number, as you'd expect.
Oh,
And the digits come up on the front of.
oh, that's so satisfying to me. That's like an ASMR type of thing. I don't know. I'm not really big on ASMR, but that's pretty dope. I like that. I used to play with like at my grandparents, their rotary phone all the time. So that kind of takes me back. And it's a fast snapback on this one that she's designed. Normally, like if you say you have to do the 9, you go all the way there and it would and like it would take wow, this one kind of snaps back, which is pretty cool.
Front of the phone on the OLED display as you dial,
Yeah.
and then you hold the hook button to place the call.
The hook
And then it
button.
works.
Oh, the phone.
To make a
Oh, okay.
non-local call, we slide the mode switch to the non-local position, and
Makes
then we
sense.
dial the full number, including the area code. Or if we want to dial more likely from our
So this, sorry for pausing so much, but like this would actually make you start to have to remember, I feel like phone numbers again, which has been such a like lost art as some would say because I used to like know all my friends' phone numbers off by heart. Like the only phone number I know no phone numbers I know currently off by heart are like my mom's house, my cell phone, and my wife's cell phone. Everything else is all in my contacts.
contacts list. We use the middle position of
Whoa, whoa,
of the
wait. What'd you
including
say?
the area code. Or if we want to dial more likely from our contacts list, we
Oh, so this has a contacts
use the
list.
middle position of the switch.
Alternative. Okay.
And now the rotary dial is used to bring up whatever contacts page you dial on it. For example, if I dial a 2, like so, the rear
Oh
e-paper display refreshes
shit.
with.
That's dope. That's like a Kindle page. That's really cool. So she's implemented a convenient contacts list on here.
Page 2 of my contacts list.
Okay.
Now, if I want to dial Ellie Arroway, for example, I just dial that number, and I do it while holding the hook button, and it dials that contact.
That's pretty cool.
How
I
do you
gotta
get the
say.
contacts list onto the phone in the first place? Micro SD card.
Micro SD card.
There's a
Okay.
text file on the SD card.
And that wouldn't have to be a very large micro SD card because if she's saying it's just a text file, that's not very, that doesn't take a lot of space up.
And you just add or edit whatever contact names and phone numbers you want, following the formatting convention I came up with. If you want to show the battery strength, you press the beta button. If you
Okay.
want to show the signal strength, you press
Lambda.
the lambda button.
Lambda, yeah.
The function button is for setting volume and accessing like the star and pound numbers for menu entry, things like that.
So if you're ever calling something that says like, oh, press pound now, press star now, you can still do that. That's cool.
And as you can see, there's an articulating external antenna in addition to an internal antenna. And look, it doubles as a stand.
I mean, that would be kind of useless to you. You're not
There's a
displaying
dedicated
anything.
microphone switch which physically disconnects the microphone's wires from the electronics for privacy.
Okay.
And the power switch, too, physically disconnects the electronics from the battery.
Shit, okay.
I think when people have seen pictures of this phone online, they assume it's bigger
Yeah, that's
than it
actually
actually
not
is, because after all,
that
it's a
big.
rotary phone. But it's hand-sized, and it fits in my pocket.
Not bad.
So how does it work getting a phone number for it? How do you
So see, this is the States. But
well,
there are, I think Rogers has a thing like this too, or Fido, which is technically Rogers, just bring your own phone, I think.
most or all cell carriers have a bring your own device plan where
Mm-hmm.
you sign up for service, they assign you a phone number, or I guess you can maybe transfer
So
your
that's where you
number
put
and
in
they
your
send
SIM
you a
card.
SIM
Okay.
card. So the SIM card just slides into the SIM slot built into the back of the phone, and voila. The mechanical, electrical, and software design are all totally open source. It is running the Arduino bootloader, and it's just a matter of
I don't
plugging
know what any
in
of that
what is
means,
now
but
standard and a ubiquitous USB-C cable,
ah.
and using the Arduino IDE to flash the program. And of course, USB-C is also how the phone is charged.
Okay.
And if you're really into old school, like hacky fun, you can also access the Haze commands being passed between the microcontroller and the cellular modem. So the AT commands, and you can send commands directly.
I don't know what any of that
using
means.
the same USB-C cable as a console cable, thus giving one hardware level access to the full feature set of the cellular modem inside, like jam.
Okay, my question then is, how much do you think she would sell this for? Because I would assume that this wasn't cheap.
Detection and all that interesting stuff. Anything that's in the. To reiterate, this is currently available only as a kit. I'm taking pre-orders on my website. I expect shipping to be in November.
Okay.
So there are 3.
Oh. Okay, so it's $400. Pretty much. For what it does, it's not a cheap amount. Like you can, like I said, buy these Unsmart phones currently that have like T9 texting, and you could probably get on the browser and stuff like that for 75 to $100. But obviously the amount of work she's put into designing this, and all the parts are basically fabricated on her own time. I see she's also changed up some of the buttons here. Like over here, she has F1 and F2, and here she shows where the star and the pound are, but on these ones she doesn't. And these ones, they have the function and the lambda key instead of the F1 and the F2 and S and B. So I wonder what this is all about. Alpha, beta, lambda function, yeah. I like the white. The white and the beige I kind of like.
Global regions available, 5 colors so far,
Okay.
2 bell colors, gold and silver.
Cool.
The very first orders that were placed almost 2 years ago are now finally about to be shipped this month, which is due in
Wonder
large
how
part
much
from the chip
this
shortage.
fucking machine
New
costs.
orders, as I said, start shipping in November. And as the chip shortage situation improves, the plan is to transition to continuous production rather than doing it in batches. Okay, and transmission.
End transmission. Those, that's pretty cool. I do enjoy. Oh, I thought that was pretty dope. Let's see. Can we go back to her? All right. So this is her website, Sky Edge. The Unsmartphone, fighting the good fight against Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, and Huawei. Wow. Okay. So Rotary Unsmartphone kit available for pre-order. Ooh, I kind of like. Yeah, I like the white. I guess maybe I would pre-order this. My wife would kill me. This is so niche, you know. I think the problem with this would be like getting people. Also, like this is how it's constructed, eh? This, gotcha. Because this one doesn't have the text function, um, you would literally have to be calling everybody, right? No, but that's pretty cool. I do like this. I'm gonna like this video. That's a really cool design that she came up with. And yeah.